And then I'm going to go ahead and to recording now. Um, so, if you guys can see this, so tonight I kind of put a schedule together a little bit, but sometimes I veer for it. So tonight we'll talk a little bit about the VA stuff. I just put a questionnaire out there, but um, I'm going to go ahead and start. Like tonight, I'm just going to show you guys a few things like on the distress intelligence from AHJs, which is authority having jurisdiction. So this morning I went to Arapahoe County, Colorado, and El Paso County, Colorado, which is Colorado Springs area around where the Air Force Academy and all that is, and I pulled 39 new NED filings for the foreclosure filings, and I pulled in El Paso County 48. These have just been filed since December 1st. So you're talking potentially 100 in El Paso County and 75 to 80 in Arapahoe County, which is kind of a southeastern of Denver. If you ever look on a Colorado map. So I didn't pull Jefferson County, Denver, Douglas, or Adams, Boulder, Broomfield. There's Weld and Laramie. There's some other counties, obviously, in Colorado. I didn't pull those because I kind of trying to show everybody how thorough these are. But these are filings that basically foreclosures, and it gives everybody all the information. So even Dakota, when you get on board and you're doing your TC stuff, this all comes in handy for you because you can help guide your clients. You can be
Oh,
like you're like an extra resource. You can help connect them to more opportunities with foreclosures, evictions, and you can go pull lists and say, hey, I can, here's a list of some foreclosures in your area you might want to pursue. So you'll be able to offer your clients a lot more than just your TC stuff, which is cool. You can help connect them. And then we have if you bring them on board and they join up, we're going to. I'm raising the price to from three. Well, right now it's actually 700. I'm doing 57% off, this is like for the holidays, which keeps our legacy pricing at 399. We started 5 years ago at 397, but January 1st we'll raise it to about 1,000. I'm going to raise it $500 a quarter because we were told I should sell this at like $5,000, which I'm not going to probably do, but I'm going to try to get up to about 2,500 by about this time next year. But we'll be able to actually probably at that point pay like a referral fee to people who are on board if they bring people in. We'll do that through the Patreon because there's some ways we can track it. Like I can set everybody up for their individual, give them like 10 links or 25 links that they can put out there, and then when people subscribe to those links, then I can track it, and and people can see what they're, if they bring people in. So you start like referring your clients because you're going to see so much here that you're not going to see like even on Zoom. And like I said to you this morning, I did send me the information on Zero Down and all that stuff you were talking to Michael about because I can build everything in Zero Down for you that they do, and you can do it without having to pay that. Dude, I can't believe they're charging $14,000. So Jesse, they look. There's a program called Zero Down, and they charge $14,000 to get into it. It was like,
jeez.
what the hell are you getting for 14,000?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's what's up, man. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I mean, but see, I've been around a long time. It's like I've been doing this for 8 years, and I can see where there are some that are like, I mean, if it was Grant Cardone or someone that has like that kind of track record, I could maybe see that. But there's a lot of these. I mean, I tell people all the time, look at my algorithm. Well, like this morning when I sent you that one post, when I sent you that one message, it's like, dude, I've probably put up close to 500 programs that I've reverse engineered. And so what I'll basically do is I'll get their whole website, their scrolling, because most of those you have to scroll down to go, and it takes a few minutes. It probably takes a good 30 minutes to read some of them with you have to scroll. So I'll just take my mouse like this and I'll just scroll right over and I'll put it in here, have it reverse engineer, and I've probably put like almost 500 different programs in there because it goes through and finds. I mean, most of the guru programs and all that. A lot of them have just been. All it really is a new person doing it. It's the same. It's just rebranded, new colors, new name, things like that. A lot of these are. There's nothing really new in real estate investing except for really AI. And so it's really cool. And I got into it kind of accidentally. I mean, Jesse can tell you, like, last couple of years we had the Facebook group, we had lenders, I have all the resources, the library that I have in there. but we weren't really, it was more static, meaning just it was kind of like a group for just really networking and talking, and people would, get lenders or they'd get my databases or something. Now it's like with this AI stuff, it's just incredible. People can do everything. It's much faster, cleaner. It does like 90% of your work for you. So we don't show the lists because basically people buy lists on this. So when you guys see these lists, you can go pull it. So what happens is when people get on board, they can set their markets up and they set it by county and zip code. That way, people get the actual. Like it says, if people are here for shortcuts, it's not their thing. If they want to understand how deals actually move, it's the right place. So this thing's really not about lists. It's not about shortcuts. Even though it does 90% of the work for you, you still got some human oversight and human connection with it. So we're talking about distress intelligence, which is AHJ, stands for authority having jurisdiction. That could be a county clerk, it could be a sheriff, a public trustee, it could be a court, probate court, or evictions court. Different states have different rules. Like in Colorado, it's all public trustee. It doesn't go to the court for like a foreclosure. So in some states it does, and it's called lispendens, lispendens, and you have to go through a court process. It's a lot lengthier. Here in some states that don't have that, if it's non-judicial foreclosure and stuff, you don't have to go through that level. You can go literally through the public trustees, which are usually supplied by the county clerk and recorder. Like in my state, in my county, the county clerk and recorder. Then there's a public trustee. The sheriff doesn't even auction them. The sheriff has nothing to do with properties, mostly in Colorado. But then you also have the probate court. And like in my state, it all goes through the county judicial branch. Even though it may be a courthouse in Jefferson County or El Paso County or Arapahoe County, it actually goes through the county judicial branch. So you can every time you go through a probate or an evictions court search process here, you actually, and you'll do this as well as your TC clients. You go through that process, you'll learn quickly how that you can go through that whole search, and like you can literally search every county like one time usually. Makes it a lot cleaner. And so then you bring back the list here, and it's either whether you enter them here and they ask anything. In the prompt bar, you just enter the PDF you would download at the county. So I'd enter it, add photos and files, and maybe a PDF. In some cases, it's just having, like I said, run your mouse over and copy and paste and come and put all of them in there. Now, what people will be advised to do is set up their buy box. That's what they do in onboarding. The buy box is basically, when we tell people, spend about an hour and a half onboarding. But of that hour and a half or so, spend a good 45 minutes on just the buy box step. Be as detailed and fill in as much information as possible. Nobody ever sees it. There's no chance it's ever going to escape. Nobody's going to see it. So basically, spends time on it. Because what happens with the buy box in those markets is once those filings are entered, because you get the entire filing. You don't just get what wholesalers give you. You get everything. I mean, you get the mortgage company, the lien holder, you get their law firm, you get the account number, you get their arrears, you get their original principal. It will actually tell people what the equity should be. Now, there's some things you can't see. You can't see if there's another HELOC, that maybe a private lender or something. There's some things like that you can't see. But generally, like last week or about 2 weeks ago, I think Jesse had told you about this. I found a property in Arapahoe County, Colorado, in Aurora, in a country club area that there's roughly probably just under $300,000 in equity in the house. And I'm like, they have to really be in trouble some other way in order not to be able to refinance that. Because if you got $300,000 in equity, you should be able to refi it.
They're probably not bankable.
Yeah, so I don't know what's wrong with that. Yeah, dude,
Credit
it's $295,000 in equity. Like I said, there's a few things you can't see, but for what it does is cool. Go. Oh, sorry, man. We have those high winds, so the power company here has been doing like rolling blackouts. Because remember that fire in Colorado like 4 years ago that burned like 1,500 houses down? They're trying to prevent that because that power company just was on the hook for like $500 million on all those houses. So my parents just texted me, "Hey, we got our power back on." So, which is weird. They did like half the county. They didn't do where I live, which is weird. How to lock the content. So we talk about distress intelligence. So you got the public trustee portal. We talk about timing, not tactics. It's all timing, and we get these like this morning. I was able to pull them. So Dakota, I was able to pull them. What I will do tomorrow about 3:30 when before I do the Zoom tomorrow night, I'll usually get about four email notifications from ChatGPT. Probably there's four. You'll see some of the topics here on the left if you look at my on my screen on the left side. Like the top foreclosure opportunities, is the one I'm working in today. But you'll see nationwide data gaps. There's another one for embed buy box criteria, and I got a Thursday market update. You'll see right there. And then I got a top 25 actionable opportunities, and I got top actionable color distress opportunities, and I also got a 7-day RCIC distress roll up. So you see these tabs over here, these chats, weekly RCIC 50 markets. I'm doing 50 markets, 6,513 zip codes. So these are different emails where they started. When I click on the notice, it'll actually take me right back here and it'll open that box and it'll give me a reading like nationwide gaps. I didn't put a precise buy box in because I'm basically trying to prime the market for everyone else to set up their markets. So it's already kind of churning in those zip codes, and I'm expanding to 250 markets, which should be roughly around 30,000 zip codes. So I don't have a precise. So there's gaps in mine. I'm not going to see every detail of every like I would like I can go search it. I know how to go do it. You'll know how to go do it. You'll get the guide and all that stuff, but I don't have. Sometimes in mine it'll show some gaps. Like it'll give me the list, but it won't break it down. Like if you have a buy box and you get set, like I got 74 out of around El Paso County, Colorado for. Think about this: there were 74 the entire month of November. There's already 49 in halfway through December. That's a lot of. That's like double the foreclosures. So you're gonna see by the time the month is done. Obviously, it's Christmas. That may not be the case, but. So I'm able to take those 74, right? If I have a precise buy box, it might take the 8 deals that meet my exact buy box. Nobody's getting a bad deal. If you set up your buy box the right way, you get those 74. It's going to match it up against your what you're looking for exactly. And we in the onboarding process, it tells you what it's going to ask for. What kind of ARV range. And if you're TC, it's a different onboarding. I send you that as well. But you can actually, if you want to kind of help out some clients, you can set a buy box for some like maybe a broader look at what your client's normal deal flow is. So you can kind of sometimes help them out. And hey, I just saw some foreclosures that were here. You can already start on them because you already have access to them, and your clients may like that deal. Nobody's ever going to get a bad deal. You may not want to do the deal that day. Maybe you don't have the capacity at that time because you got a lot of other deals going on. But you're never going to get a bad deal, which is good. So you want to underwrite. So you get the distress, you want to underwrite. So before anybody calls, texts, or emails, and we have comms mode. There's a thing called comms mode that I built that basically helps you with your communication. Whether you're calling somebody, somebody's texting, it's got the SMS, emails, any kind of correspondence. Comms mode helps. But we tell anybody before they call, text, or email, get it written. You can take this. Like I can open this Thursday. When I get these emails, I can open them right away. Literally within minutes, I can be back and get the assessor card, which I can get. I have all the information. I don't need to skip trace. I have more than enough information. I probably got 2 to 3 times what I actually need, which is good because if I need it, I got it. I don't have to skip trace. I don't have to pay extra for that. A lot of people are like PropStream, Deal Machine, Goliath, Batch Leads, Investor Lift. They're paying $599 a month, and they got to pay on top of that skip tracing. Might be 1,000 records. They might charge 5 cents, 7 cents a record. So you're talking about another $50, $70 just to skip trace a list. Here you don't have a list. You're getting precision. So you can come back, get the assessor card. You got that information. You can pull comps. You can value ARV. You can enter photos, which it'll link you to Zillow, Redfin. I don't use those for anything, but they're going to have pictures on it. Like my parents' house probably has about 50 pictures on it. I can pull those pictures. I can put them in through the Ask Anything, and I can have it start to estimate rehab. And I can pull comps of the area of the houses around it that meet the same kind of same situation. Unfortunately, in and where they live, all the houses are legacy houses, and there's like a lot of it's like really expensive area just because of where the area is. A lot of the houses were built 75, 100 years ago. They're kind of a lot of legacy class, they're not all like brand new construction and stuff like that. So there's some neat things, so that helps you. But you can pull all this. You can get comps, you can get ARV, rehab score. You can determine your margin. So you got your evidence, and then step 3 is you go to comms mode. So this is the aha moment. So most deals don't fail because of numbers; they fail because communication is unclear. As a TC, your communication is clear. So like I said, we got step 4 is TC mode, and it helps everybody kind of be in TC mode. Not everybody uses TACs, but they should. I believe that they should. That's why I'm going so strong into setting up TC mode. So 1 before, after example, we can set these up. Comms mode is basically, like I said, it's every type of communication. And I put influencers in there. And you can generate all your scripts, and you can have the script. The script can be written for the specific property, the specific deal opportunity, because you get 100 deals, every deal might be different. There might be a different strategy, maybe it's a different situation. It can help you. So you can craft a custom strip for that particular opportunity. And it maybe somebody's looking at 10 of the similar opportunities, but what if you were able to write 10 scripts in like under 5 minutes? And you have the scripts and they're each customized, and you can do that. It's all designed for that. So then you go into your TC mode. It's not admin, it's risk control. TCs are risk managers. So they're not really administrative assistants or whatever, they are risk managers. So think about your dashboards. We have a TC dashboard, and there's no dashboard or cockpit that's going to be alike. If we have 2,500, we have 5,000, 10,000. No two people are ever going to have the same ecosystem because everybody is different. Even if we got 100 people doing the exact same asset class and strategy, every single dashboard and cockpit is actually built by them to be their own. And like I said, right now when I have time to help people, I can actually help people build their do a lot of customization that you can't get with a static website. You can't go to like Deal Machine or PropStream and get a custom. It's like static. You get what they got, or you don't get it from them. Here, everybody can customize it. It takes between 7 and 4. You do the onboarding. About 7 days later, you do PDF 2. There's some redundancy. And there's the point behind that. Some people are like, hey, I did this like last week. Do it again, because that's how it retains the information in the memory. After about 14 days, then you can start deploying agents to go out there and do all these tasks for you. Find the properties, find clients, find TC situations, and then by the end of 30 days. Everything's predictive, meaning you train it, then all of a sudden it thinks like you, thinks faster than you, it thinks 1,000 times faster than you. It's a machine. All of a sudden, and it matches you, your communication style. So however you talk to it, it will talk to you back the same way. It won't, if you're really, so that's what you just want to think about. Like there are prompts, but you want to actually speak to it in the prompt bar. You want to just like you're talking to someone. Obviously, there's some things that I give everybody now, the kind of like a prompt guide, but you can really over time, it's going to learn how you communicate with it, and it's going to start communicating to you back in the same exact manner. And then it's going to think so much faster than you. It's going to be out there generating agents. You generate agents mode from here, just like your Ask Anything. You go down here, there's more. You see the more clip thing. So yeah, sometimes it's a little slow on here, but you go to more, and then it deploys agent mode, and you can ask it to deploy agents. Can you deploy agents? Let's see if it comes up this time. Sometimes it's just a little. It's just on my end because I got a full chat. Sometimes I've used the chats of the projects over and over again for a couple of days. It fills up. It's a little slower. But that's not an issue at all. It's just, like I said, you just kind of got to use. It's one of those things you got to get used to a little bit. So you can deploy agents, and the agent could be out there. Hey, can you run this? Can you go to the on-ramps and off-ramps? Think of RCIC as an interstate highway. It's going to give you these little links. They're going to be like right. And if there was one right here, there's not. But if there was one right here in the capital, don't mention don't sell. There would be like a little link right here. It looked like a little box that would have the agency. Well, that's an on-ramp or off-ramp, just like an interstate highway. You can click on it, or you can copy and paste and go to your browser. That'll take you to, like, Jefferson County, Colorado, to any of the agencies there. That'll take you to your local AHJs and markets. That way you can go pull the information you need. So those are little on ramps and off ramps. But you can deploy the agent and go to that like once a week. Maybe like some counties that I deal with, they publish like once a week on Tuesday or once a week on Thursday. So you can start getting your agents to go out there and let you know that there's new filings, if there's new probate, if there's updates. If you're looking at a property and somebody has filed an intent to cure, then you can maybe not work with, maybe that property's, they're going to try to solve their problem. Only about 10% actually ever get cured. Without, and then there's some, and also in some counties it'll do a net range. You can put a range like November 1st to November 30th. And when you get the list, it'll tell you not only like the law firm that the mortgage company's using, it'll also tell you if there's bankruptcies or if they filed an intent to cure. You get everything. You get so much, you're like, you don't need it all. At least you won't think you need it all. Just take it all because you never know. You don't have to go back and look through it. This makes everything seamless, organized, and for your TC clients, you are able to offer more than any other TC. With RCIC, you're able to do a lot of stuff with them. You can't obviously negotiate contracts and stuff, but you can throw a lot of support because you got resources to help them. That's a huge advantage that you have. So we tell everybody it's not a course, it's not a list, it's not a tool. It's a operating system. So we're not publishing lists because it's capability. We're putting out what the capability is. So this is the last public session of 2025. We'll have an associates, residence operators one tomorrow, and then, like I said, we will. Obviously, I work. Pretty much, and Jesse can tell you that, Dakota. I pretty much, unless I'm really doing something else, and I'm usually pretty upfront about telling people that. I give everybody a 7-day schedule, so it has all 7 days of what I'm doing, and then it has like Tuesday nights and Friday nights. I don't really do much. Things like that. So you kind of got to realize. So I give everybody my phone number and my email. There's a couple other people coming on. Let me see. And who else is on? Hey, Bill, is that you? I know you got an iPhone sometimes.
Cool. I'm here.
Cool. I know you're there, Dakota. I'm just trying to see. That's a couple people coming on. Okay. So yeah, I had a couple of people trying to get on. So it's kind of cool. So like I said, we'll go into TC mode. Go over resource. I'm gonna type into it real quick. Okay, give us 1 second. Over TC mode. So it's going to go over TC mode. It's going to think about it for just a second. And sometimes if it takes a minute or two longer, it's because, like I said, I've used this particular chat's a little bit. I've been using it for a couple of days and done a lot with it. So I would just I think I think I did do it last night. I'll go in or Monday. I'll go and have just push stop share, and I'll just have to restart that. And it doesn't happen when you guys are actually doing it. It's just because of the Zoom. So I've got to move. I just got to go back around it and come back into it. So just to explain it, let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let me try to. Sometimes I can do it by checking on the other. So let me do that real quick. I'm going to stop share it, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come back into. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, sometimes, like I said, it's just having to go back and let it. I'm just going to come back to the actual. Real quick, I'm going to come back to the actual. So and this is nothing that happens. This is just because I'm using the Zoom. So I got to exit full screen real quick and then restart. It only happens because of the Zoom. like I said, so don't expect that to happen unless you're doing like a Zim or something. So come back to that. And I should be back into it. There I am. You guys are? Cool. Yep, now I'm back. Alright, cool. It just took me a minute to get back to where that spot was. So, we got it to TC mode. So what it actually is, it's not paperwork, so it's risk control. So most deals don't blow up at closing. They unravel quietly 2 to 3 weeks earlier when no one owns the next step. Docs are assumed. Follow-ups are memory-based. Lender title delays surface too late. So TC mode exists to make problems visible early. So the job of TC mode turns a signed contract into a controllable sequence of events instead of a guessing game. So you have only deals that have been underwritten, passed a basic viability check, have clear intent to close. It does not fix bad deals. It exposes bad deals faster. So the 4 or 5 functions of TC mode are deal ownership. Every deal has one primary owner, one next action, one due date. No, everyone thought someone else was handling it. You can set it all. You can set all your agents to set up. If you got Dropbox, if you get the free version of Airtable until you've got so much business, then you want to do the paid version, but you've already built it, so it's just converting it for more storage and all that, more capability. Eventually getting like Zapier, but you don't have to. You can use Dropbox, the free version of Airtable, and Google Docs and Google Forms all for free. It'll help you build it all. Building up your vault and your CRM and everything. You can set everything. You don't need A-Frame or any of these other services. You basically have everything at one time. It's lifetime. You can build on it. You can start your own GPT. Like I said, you go to this Explore tab, and you can set up your own GPT. Explore GPTs. You can set it all up yourself, and it becomes your own. You can build your own and use anything. Once you're on board, use anything that I've created to build your own GPT within ours, and you got a whole system there ready to build. You can build it exactly how you want to build it. I recommend people do about 90 days and then do your own GPT, and then you're good. And then you could either make it free or you could, make it. You can, if clients have GPT, you can give them access to it. There's some different ways to do that, multiple ways to do that. So you can set up your milestone tracking, not just dates, contract execution, earnest money, inspection, appraisal, all the lender conditions, clear to close, the closing process. So we don't track when things are scheduled. We track what blocks the next step. So that's what we do. It is designed to basically prevent catastrophe, keep everything smooth. So it's a different way of doing everything. It automates it. It uses the AI. It thinks faster. This thinks faster than any spreadsheet or anything that anybody else is using. Nobody else is using this, except ours, and it's going to be dynamic for everybody. You're going to basically be able to kick all your competitors' asses. I mean, literally, it's going to help you dominate. Be able to get things done better, cleaner, faster for your clients. Document visibility. So it instantly, what's missing, who owns it, when was it requested, what happens if it's late. So if it's missing, it's closed. If it's overdue, it turns red. So you don't have to worry about it. No inbox archaeology. And basically, you can, like I said, you can set all your agents up. You can pretty much. I'm going to help you in the first 30 days customize it, get it all tuned up, and after 30 days, and about another 30 days, we do that 3-hour tune-up that I sent you that information on. We'll do an hour live. Before that, about 2 weeks, you'll send me like that questionnaire. Everything's going on, what you've done, what you want to do, things like that. We'll do that in the live session, and then about a week or two will go by after that. I'll do the follow-up, and I'll send you and make sure that everything was done the way you wanted it done. It's not the way I want it done, it's the way you want it done. Escalation logic assumes delays will happen. So it's going to ask, is this lender caused, title caused, client caused, internal? who was pinged, when, how, outcome, next follow-up. So you got total control of this. I actually hit the printer for some reason. I'm not trying to print. I don't know why it's printing. There you go. Oh, sorry, I hit a printer thing. Yeah, so it's going to communicate with that. It's pretty thorough on that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Do you got any questions on it? It's pretty thorough, man. Like I said, I'll help you get it all put together. And then, like I said, you got the communications sync with comms mode. It'll never send sloppy messages. Comms mode drafts the language. TC mode executes it. Follow-ups are intentional, not reactive. So this is how you avoid sounding desperate or confused. So it's not a checklist you fill out once, not a CRM task dump. It's not just admin, not something you hand off without structure. So it doesn't replace TC. It gives you command and control. And so then the VAs and all that. Let's see. So it's not visible, it's not controlled. So TC mode exists to make risk visible early. And so you got Intel mode. It identifies opportunity. This is the bigger system. And so you can promote this too to other people like your clients. Underwrite mode, it validates it. You got comms mode, controls your messaging. TC mode, protects execution. Capital mode, funds confidence. Nothing is isolated, everything is sequenced. So good TCs don't chase deals, they see problems before anyone else does. TC mode gives them that sight. If you want, like I said, after that I can, I'm going to go ahead and have I'm going to go ahead and do an explainer PDF, and I'm going to send this to you afterwards, after I close the session. We're not going to go too much longer. We don't usually do that on Wednesdays. Yeah, because usually it's 30, 45 minutes. We'll go ahead and go through it. So I'll go ahead and make that PDF real quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and pretty much just close it out unless you have anything. I know you need to probably rest a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's really thorough. Yes, it's pause real quick. I'll see what's going on. Sometimes it's just pause it, like it's thinking. Okay. That PDF, and then the title. Visual. A YouTube video. I will process the okay, so this is what I'm telling it to do. So yeah, it's taking a minute to do this PDF. Let's see, iPhone. Cool. Checking on iPhone. Does someone just come on who's on the iPhone? Let's see who's. Okay. Go ahead and see if they answer. So it stopped the pausing real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and have it. So I just go to do that reset real quick. That's one of the best things I can do with it, because like I said, it happens with the Zoom a lot because it's just having to move around the Zoom. So I gotta just exit full screen, and then I just gotta go back and set up the. It just comes on, back on again. So there's just a couple ways to work around it. Like I said, it's just it basically is a tired chatter project, and when I've used, when it's full and I've been using it, it can just be a little bit slower. If you got a brand new fresh project, you push that button, tell it to do a Zoom, it'll have it up there in a second. So let me go ahead and put that back on screen. Cool. So yeah, it's coming up with these answers for this real quick. So, like I said, I'll get that PDF to you, Dakota, right afterwards. This is printing up. Actually, I just made some of my videos.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So when are you thinking you are going to come aboard? Because I definitely can get you built up and get you all situated pretty quick. So.
Oh yeah, man. I'll start driving your clients' way too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely. Like I said, we'll get you all situated on board and then integrated into the main group. You'll have a lot of potential clients in our regular group because we've got about 190 people. Only about 40 are using RCIC now, but I started putting this group together back in 2020, the Facebook group. So there's a lot of people in it that have been around a while. So I'm trying to get a lot of them on board too right now. It's basically for them. I just give them the onboarding packet. A lot of them, like I said, they were, we've pretty much done the same price for about 5 years. We were networking. It came out of COVID. Like I had to put it together. I had all the resources and we have a huge library. Man, I've pumped in 10,000 pages worth of workbook pages and stuff. Not all like a single, because it can read a book in like a minute. So you can put like a workbook in it or something, and it reads it and it scans it. I put in over 19,000 funding sources, lenders. We put in a ton of stuff. I've written like 25 to 10 page white papers that are on different real estate investing topics. I put in about 10 that are anywhere from 20 to 70 page ebooks that I was writing. Just the faster way is just put them all into here. And then I said I've put in almost 500 like gurus or real estate programs, investment programs. So it's got a lot of intelligence. And when you come on and when everybody else is on board, everybody's using it. It builds up that intelligence even more because then people are putting in all kinds of information. And so it basically is it just basically is a level field. There's no bias because some gurus and stuff, that's all they know. If they're a fix and flip guru or they're a wholesaling guru, that's all they know. And they're putting in their bias, their history, gurus don't want to give people any kind of runway to escape their program. They want to, kind of get people, what's that term if somebody's an insurance agent for State Farm, they're not selling for anybody else. Whereas some are independent insurance brokers. So I look at it this way: everybody's better off with being an independent this way because you're gonna basically do more. You're not they call it captive. Like a captive agency is like working for State Farm or Allstate or American Family. You're not gonna sell insurance for anybody else. It's kind of the way I look at it. Is everybody kind of has a level playing field. Because I built this because I was frustrated for a lot of when I was brokering. I was frustrated with a lot of the way that, and so it changes a lot because a lot of the Gator stuff and the EMD and the GAP stuff and all these programs are hard. And a lot of lenders, people that I've brokered for, don't. aren't doing a lot of those deals. They're still staying in the conventional real estate investing funding world because that's what they do. A lot of them have funds. They have investors. They can't just change on a dime without having to go to the SEC or get approval or whatever, make changes. So it's awesome to have all the creative financing options. So I tell everybody that's in our organization has an opportunity to do everything. You don't have to go and just be like a captive insurance agent. You can just do anything. You don't have to do it, and you can do multiple strategies. And I've put like many of the similar strategies in, and everybody, like I said, almost all the educators and gurus and all that, they just come up. It's just really just changing colors, changing names, changing who the people are, changing a few things. That's it. Like anybody could go and create, especially the AI now, anybody could go just create a whole program and it looks fresh and people don't. So it's just a matter of catching the right person. I joke that I look what's in what I wake up to every morning. Every week I see probably 15 to 20 other people popping up like, hey, I got the best real estate investing program out there. There is no debate. I've seen 3 people claim that last month. There is no debate. Actually, 3 different people put that into their marketing. There is no debate. I have the best. It's like, seriously? Did they all go to the same guru school? I don't know, man. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. I'm gonna go to process the Zoom. It'll take about 20 minutes and put the YouTube video up, and I'll send you that PDF rather than making you wait for it here because it'll be faster. I can just do it, get this PDF built. I'll send it over to you. It's just everything went over on screen, so you can read it on your own. So we'll go ahead and end for the night. And then we have it tomorrow night, but we start at 5 o'clock my time, so we start an hour. Wednesday is the only time we've ever started early. We start at 4 my time, so tomorrow will be an hour later. And then once we reconvene on January 7th, we won't be doing the 4 p.m.s. It'll just be 5 p.m.s. I had a request from some people that lived on the East Coast, but it's funny that the people that want me to do an hour earlier never show up. So I'm just going to do the 5 p.m. And if they want to do an earlier one or something, I do one-on-ones. If somebody gives me a heads up and you need a one-on-one because the time's not working, that's fine. And then if people just want the video and they want to watch it on their own time, that's fine too. It's either way. You guys tell me what you want. I never try to do you guys know what your schedule is? Have your lives, you got your businesses, got families, things like that. Let me know what you need and I'll get it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and close out for the night. Like I said, give me about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll have that PDF to you. So I appreciate your time, Dakota. I hope you feel better, man.
Oh, yeah, me too, brother. Another enjoyable one, and looking forward to reading those PDFs tonight, man.
Yeah, I'll send you that one for sure. It's probably just going to be one. I don't know if the other one's. I think the other one's kind of redundant of what I said. I'll check it when it prints. But the other one will go into more of the TC stuff. So, and then we'll be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll have a few more people on it. Wednesdays are usually, 2 or 3 people. We get 7 or 8 on Thursdays because we got a lot more of and especially tomorrow I'll be the last one for the year, so we'll have a lot more people. And then, like I said, once you're on board, I'll introduce you to everybody and tell them you're at TC, and you got, not everyone's going to use a TC, but there's a potential. You got 190 people that have been in this group for up to 5 years. That's a pretty good track record. We've only had like 2 people leave, which is, that's pretty good out of almost 200, really. So that's a pretty good situation. All right, cool. I'm going to go to stop share, stop recording.